a bit about last week's game, first of all, if you don't mind. I know the academy is very much your baby. You must have been very proud of that win against Newcastle.
Yeah, definitely. It's you know, where we've come from even 12 months ago. The kids that had come through, there must have been probably 7 or 8 first-year academy players come up from the 16s last year. So to put in a performance like that, led by the Chapel Howe twins, I thought they were excellent. I thought Bradley Walker was excellent in the middle of the park as well. So a really good performance against an open age team, which they're not used to playing. So it's you know, it's paves the way well for those young kids going forward this year.
Do you think some of those people can play first team if they need to this year, and injuries will happen, won't they?
Yeah, injuries will happen, of course, throughout the year. We will continue to monitor their progress. You know, there probably is 1 or 2 that can step into first grade okay. Majority of them probably need another year in 19s to keep progressing and keep learning.
I know you were impressed with Walker in particular. Tell us a bit more about him.
Come from Cumbria, he had 3 or 4 clubs who were chasing him, and he chose our academy, which is, you know, a testament to what Phil Finney's doing here at the club. He's always stood out in his division up there in Cumbria, so he comes down here and he's standing out in our group as well. He works hard, got a great skill level. Reminds me a little bit of potentially a young O'Loughlin. He takes the hard hit-ups up the middle of the park and also plays, you know, well when we need him to with the ball, so he's a good kid.
We can talk a bit more about first team matters. Has the nature of the squad's training changed slightly now as we approach the real season?
A little bit. We're still doing some hard work going into these friendlies. The boys will have a tough couple of days in the next 2 days. And we want to progress to playing the first comp game. Results will be important in these next 2 weeks, obviously, to get a little bit of confidence, but that's not the be-all and end-all in terms of results. You know, we're still working hard to be ready for February 7th.
So we can expect, I presume, to see something close to a first team out this week against Halifax? Yeah,
definitely. We'll probably carry a few reserves as well. You know, ideally we'd like to give our first team starters a run out this weekend. Probably not for the full 80 minutes, but give them a good hit out and then progress to potentially playing 80 minutes against St Helens next week.
Is there anyone who we might normally expect to see in the first team not available this week? Hasn't Charlie Runciman got an injury?
Yeah, Charlie just had a little finger operation, which isn't keeping him out for too long. He won't be there this weekend. Alex Gerard has had a slight knee complaint, so he won't be there as well, but I think nearly everyone else will be available for selection.
Are then 2 going to be fit for the competitive game start of the season?
At this stage, it looks that way, yes. So Charlie definitely, and Alex is progressing nicely.
But the other new boys then, we're going to get to see them this week. Chris Bridge, yeah, Corey Thompson.
Yes, yeah. Corey played a little bit in the friendly here against Warrington on 27th. Didn't get much game time because he had some cramp, and so we looked after him a little bit more than sort of pulling him off through injury. So he'll definitely be playing. Bridgie, yeah, he's progressing very well. Had a great pre-season for us, and in the skill elements that he has is something new to our squad, which is great. So we've got some strike on the centres now, which we wanted to build on from last season. So looking forward to him getting out there and playing some footy this year.
Set him out to start, fit and available?
Yes, yeah, training well as well. So he's ready to go.
And what's the situation with Chris Houston? I don't think, has he arrived in England yet? I don't think he has.
He hasn't yet, no, because he just had a baby recently. So for the situation where we got him, as the circumstances unfolded, we knew that he wasn't going to get here until sort of mid to late January. So we know when he's arriving, and he's looking forward to coming over here and still training hard over in Australia at the moment. So he's had his baby now and had to wait on passport for the baby before the visa could get approved for his family. So yeah, but again, we're looking forward to him coming over to strengthen our squad.
You played Halifax, didn't you, in the Super 8s last year, and they gave you a good game. It was a close game, and looked like a very well drilled side, so they should give you the sort of test you want.
Definitely, it's going to be a real tough test. We've spoken to Richard Marshall, and they're progressing very well in the off-season, in their pre-season training as well, and striving to get that Super League berth that they want as well. So we're expecting a very physical game. We need to make sure that we're up for all that, and hopefully the skill elements that we've been working on in the off-season can come and be put on show in that game. And it's going to be a good contest, we feel.
I know the result per se doesn't matter. There's no league points on it or anything like that. But after losing the friendly at Christmas on Boxing Day, fans don't like that, do they? It'd be nice to repay them a bit with a victory, wouldn't it, this week?
Yeah, of course, and we don't like that as well. We didn't want to go out there and concede 40 points in that friendly against Warrington. We were disappointed, but at the same time we put some good plays on in that game that just weren't rewarded with points, and played an under-strength team, as did Warrington. But it wasn't all worries after that game. We put some good patches of play together, just couldn't get over the try line. So we've looked at that, we've studied it, and assessed how we could have improved from that gate, and kick defence was a big part of that. They scored 4 tries off kicks, so that in itself, if we sort of look after that a little bit better, then we could have stopped those tries from being conceded. So we've worked hard since that day, and we'll continue to do so in preparation for the first game against Wakey.
You were here at this stage, obviously, of last pre-season. Is it possible for you to compare where you think the squad is at going into this new season with where you were at this time last year?
We've worked harder than we did in the pre-season last year. There's no doubt about that, and I think our squad overall has more class this season, and the ability to be able to break down games a lot better, I feel. We let go of a few players in the off-season as well, and we've brought in Chris Houston, who is yet to get here, obviously, Bridgie, Sentimenta Sarr, Corey. We've now got an element of that next level of player, which hopefully can take us to that next level in the Super League.
On the Sentimenta, I know he's quite a versatile player. He can do a job in a number of different positions, but where do you see him playing predominantly this season? I
think his best position is back row. That's where he's been training for us in the off-season. He can cover 6, he can cover centre as well, and even loose forward at a pinch. So, all fully fit in the squad, he'll be one of our back rows.
But as we mentioned, when injuries hit a guy like that, how do you have around?
Yeah, he is. The versatility of some players is definitely good for us as a club. And the same with Bridgie. Bridgie obviously is a right centre specialist, but he can play 6 as well in case we get an injury in the half. So Christine can cover back row, middle unit, centre. So Steph Marsh can cover probably full back, wing and centre now as well. So we're getting that ability at the club now to have 3 and 4 people fill in 3 and 4 different positions. So it's a good strength for us to have as a group.
Do you expect Corey to be playing more on the wing this year than full back?
Initially, and it's one of those things where you're bringing quality to the club that helps other people maintain their level of performances. And Reece last year, probably even by his standards, he wouldn't say he had a great season. So by Corey coming in, it adds that little element of Reece needs to be at his best. We're not putting the fear into Reece by saying that if you don't play well, your position's gone, because we all know what he can do. But at the same time, knowing that someone is wanting to play fullback at a good level, hopefully it'll make Reece be at that level, which we know he will be at his best.